Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Namera Zahid, and this lesson in which we are going to study about the atomic number and mass number of elements is all about chemistry. So I welcome all of you to the class for class 9, and this lesson is including the part in which we are going to deal with atomic number of elements and the mass number of elements. Okay, mass number of elements. So what is atomic number? Atomic number is also called the charge number. It is also called the proton number. As we know that all elements differ from each other in terms of their atomic number. The number of protons which are found inside the nuclei of different elements are different. For example, hydrogen has only one proton. Helium, on the other hand, has 2 protons. Lithium has 3 protons. Okay, so protons are the positively charged particles which are found inside the nucleus of an element. So proton number is the charge number, which is also called the atomic number of an element. And when we talk about the mass number is the number of protons plus number of neutrons in an element. Okay, as you know that there are so many particles present inside the nucleus of an atom. This nucleus is consisting of some particles. These particles are actually protons and neutrons. Let's say protons and neutrons. Okay, we can say protons and neutrons are located inside the nucleus of an atom, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. These electrons are actually responsible for balancing the charge. So how many protons are present in this atom? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 protons in this nucleus of an atom. So the protons are 7. How many electrons should be present here? There should be 7 electrons. So in the first shell, we can make there are 2 electrons, and in the second shell, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in total, we have 5 plus 2, 7 electrons in this atom. So if we know about the number of protons, we can find out how many number of electrons should be present in this atom if it is a neutral atom. So when we talk about neutral atoms, all neutral atoms have same number of protons and electrons to balance the charge on these. So all the protons are positively charged and electrons are negatively charged elements, negatively charged particles. So when protons and electrons are balanced, it is considered as a neutral atom. Now, how do we know that? How can we find out the mass number of an element? So what is the mass number of element? The mass number of element can be found by adding the number of protons and number of neutrons. If you can find how many protons and how many neutrons are found in the nucleus of an atom, you can find the mass number of an element. Like for example, here there are 7 protons and how many neutrons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there are 7 neutrons and 7 protons, then we can add these together to find out the mass number. So what is the mass number of this atom? The mass number is 14. What is the atomic number of this atom? The atomic number or the charge number of this atom is 7 because there are 7 protons. And the mass number is the number of protons plus number of neutrons, which is 14. Okay. So in this way, we can find that how many number of protons, electrons, and neutrons are present inside an atom. How can we find all these details? Let's begin up with atomic number. The atomic number of an element is 7 and the given mass number of an element is 14. If the atomic number is 7, then we know that there are 7 protons and there should be 7 electrons if it is a neutral atom. What about the mass number? The mass number is relating the number of protons and neutrons. Okay. So when we talk about number of neutrons, we can calculate the number of neutrons by subtracting atomic number from the mass number. So mass number minus atomic number, which is 14 minus 7, gives us the value that there are 7 neutrons present in this element. Got it? Similarly, when we talk about if the sodium has atomic mass 23 and atomic number 11, this is atomic mass number, okay, represented by A, and this is the charge number or atomic number represented by Z. So if this element has this 23 is the mass number and 11 is the atomic number. So how can we find the details? The details are that its atomic number is 11 and its mass number is 23. Okay. Find the number of electrons, protons, and neutrons in this element. As we know that atomic number is the number of protons present inside the nucleus of an atom. So there should be 11 protons and 11 electrons because it is a neutral atom. If we find that the mass number of element is 23, the number of neutrons can be calculated by subtracting atomic number from the mass number. So when we subtract 11 from 23, it becomes 12 neutrons. So in this way, we can find out that there are 12 neutrons in an element which is named as sodium. So how many protons and how many neutrons are present? We have to make 23 particles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is the nucleus of sodium. And there are 11 electrons. So this is the first shell. This is the second shell. And this is the third shell of the sodium. As we know that there are 7 protons and 7 electrons and 12 neutrons. So 1 proton, 2 proton, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are protons, okay? Protons are shaded as green here. Now we have to find the number of neutrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 neutrons. Neutrons are represented with pink. Now, there should be 11 electrons in sodium. So in the first shell, we have only 2 because this is the K shell. K shell can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. Now, we have left with some electrons further. So the next shell is L shell, in which maximum electrons which can accommodate are 8. So 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8. So 8 electrons occupy the L shell. Now the third shell. When we add the electrons present in K and L, these are total 10 electrons, and the 1 electron is present in M shell. Due to this valence electron, what are valence electrons? Valence electrons are the electrons which are present in the valence shell. So when the outermost electron is considered in the valence shell, this gives the valency. So sodium is having a valency of +1 because it easily loses this outermost electron. So in this way, we have drawn the structure of an atom, and we have calculated the number of neutrons with the knowledge of atomic number and mass number. So if you are given with the atomic and mass number of any element, you can find the number of electrons, protons, and neutrons easily. I hope this video is helpful for making your concept. Thank you.